The real grind is being an NFL superfan.
Xavier Babadar, who was famous for being a Kansas City Chiefs superfan, admitted to 11 bank robberies in 7 different states.
How about we all take a look back throughout the years at some of the craziest stories and controversies that we've seen centered on the NFL's wildest subsection of fans. XFactor knocked out at a game. I don't know what exactly it is about Chiefs fans, but man, do they seem to have a different gear. A superfan known as XFactor went viral during a loss a few years back. But it wasn't due to his ridiculous getup or his signature red and gold threads. XFactor, aka Ty Roten, made headlines in 2021 after getting knocked out in the stands at Arrowhead Stadium, and subsequently taken a tumble down the stairs after an altercation with another fan. Later on, video footage surfaced that indicated that XFactor might not have been as innocent in the whole incident as he wanted people to think. This incident blew up online, sparking tons of reactions and leaving fans questioning how things went from bad to worse in KC that night for XFactor, who then found himself banned from Arrowhead Stadium to add insult to injury. Yeesh, quite a turn of events for what started as a classic case of a passion for the game boiling over into chaos. Chief Z assaulted in Philly. His government name is Zima Williams, but Washington football fans knew him as Chief Z, an affable retired car salesman who has been a fixture at the then Redskins football games for nearly 3 decades. Chief Z had a reputation for bringing so much energy and positivity to games. But in 1983, that goodwill was not enough to shield him from an ugly incident in Philadelphia. After Washington defeated the Eagles, frustrated Philly fans attacked him, breaking his arm, leg, and ribs. His signature outfit was destroyed, and the attack left a very bitter taste for Z. Yep, of course it was Eagles fans. Of course. Only Eagles fans would absolutely brutalize a guy like that. Fireman Ed versus Jets fans. Fireman Ed has long been the most recognizable fan of the New York Jets. It is probably best known nationally for his role in leading the iconic JETS chant for years. However, it has not all been sunshine and rainbows for him in New York. In fact, he's had a bit of a rocky relationship with the team and its other fans over the years. The first time this made the news was way back when in 2012, when he stepped away due to alleged harassment from fellow fans. He made a comeback in 2015, but recently he has suggested that the Jets organization might be phasing him out of MetLife events, leading some to question if it's an organizational move or just a bruised ego. Fireman Ed, you are once the heart of the fans. Don't let bitterness burn your legacy down. Barrelman's ailing health. Tim McKernan, known to Broncos fans as Barrelman, was a legend in Denver for wearing nothing but a painted barrel, cowboy boots, and suspenders to games. His now infamous story started with a $10 bet to get on TV back in 1977, and from there, he became a staple in Broncos history. Controversy, however, arose in 2003 when health complications hit, and unfortunately, the man had to scale back his appearances. Doctors warned him that what he was doing, perhaps unsurprisingly, was bad for his health, and urged him to surrender his barrel once and for all. That, of course, for a man like McKernan, was a bridge too far. So they compromised, and he agreed to only wear the barrel when temperatures were above freezing. It wasn't until 2007 that McKernan eventually retired, but his iconic run in Denver made him an absolute fan favorite until his passing in 2009. Chief Saholic. Alright, this has to be one of the wildest superfan controversies ever. Xavier Babadar, better known as Chief Saholic, is headed to prison for 17 and a half years. His crime? Bank robbery and money laundering across 7 states, netting him over $800,000. Yeah, this one's pretty unbelievable when you just look at it at face value. I mean, come on, an NFL superfan turned into a legit bank robber? Sounds like some kind of TV show plot. But yep, this really happened. Jeez, what power they must have felt every Sunday. Oh well, too bad it got the best of him, I guess. Marianne Doe, the industry plant? Doe has created quite a name for herself in the NFL world, to the point that, well, she was even interviewed on NFL Total Access discussing her fandom. Now, for those of you who don't remember, Marianne Doe became a viral sensation after cameras caught her intense reaction to a Chargers game a couple of years back. But soon after that, rumors began to swirl online, labeling her as an industry plant. Fans out there speculated speculated that her emotions were staged or part of a marketing ploy. However, don't dismiss the accusations, saying that her love for the Chargers is very real and inspired by the passion of former quarterback Philip Rivers. So I mean, whether you buy the theories or not, there's still no denying that her intense fandom brought the internet together in its own sort of bizarre way. Vikings World Order. The feud within the Vikings World Order, VWO, centers around longtime Minnesota Vikings superfans Sid Davey, Diggs Garza, and third fan known here as Sir Death. The VWO is actually founded to unite passionate Vikings supporters, but tensions began to emerge due to Davey's alleged betrayal and power grabs. Despite initially being close, the relationship soured when Davey was accused of exploiting his position for personal gain, including manipulating ticket allocations and undermining other members' trust. Sir Death took to social media to describe a series of conflicts where Davey's behavior allegedly devolved into self-centered actions, ultimately pushing him out of the VWO and other fan organizations. According to Sir Death, Davey was impeached as VWO president after members became fed up with his supposed lies, manipulation, and disregard for the group's values. The rift deepened when Davey purportedly stole Garza's season tickets, a move seen as a betrayal of the group's founding principles. The fallout of this incident involved personal and public confrontations, culminating in calls for Davey to be held accountable and stripped of his titles. This bitter dispute reveals deep fractures in a group that once prided itself on unity and support for the teams. Yeesh, talk about a power struggle for the ages. Brawl in the Black Hole. As explained on their official website, in 1995, a group of Raiders fans first joined up to create a section of the stadium where fans clad in black from head to toe could come together in support of their team. Well, 27 years and 35 chapters later, the Black Hole has become so much more than a stadium section. It is a state of mind. And ever since 1995, the Black Hole, and subsequently the rest of the Raiders fan base, has been known for its rowdy atmosphere and intimidating superfan presence. It's a group that really takes pride in its hardcore loyalty, whether they're in Oakland, Las Vegas, or visiting another stadium. But that aggressive culture is not without its downsides. Over the years, the section has seen its fair share of brawls and fan altercations, most recently a brutal fight following the Raiders' move to Las Vegas. While some of these incidents are isolated, it's clear that the Black Hole's intense culture has bled into the larger fan base, blurring the line between passion and hostility. Whistle Monster won't stop whistling. If you have ever tuned into a Saints game or stepped foot inside Caesars Superdome, there's a good chance you have heard Leroy Mitchell, aka Whistle Monster. You see, this Saints superfan made a name for himself with his signature gold-painted whistle helmet and his, well, let's call it unique form of crowd engagement. This guy's high-pitched, ear-piercing whistle has been echoing through the dome since the mid-90s. But here's the kicker. While Mitchell considers his whistling a way to amp up the crowd and show his devotion to the Saints, not everyone shares his enthusiasm. And yeah, with pretty good reason. I mean, after all, the whistle plays a pretty important role in football games. You know, like when the referee needs to make a call. Nothing like having a superfan's weird compulsion disrupt the flow of a game with potential phantom calls. Not to mention, it can actually just be kind of irritating to those in close vicinity.
Oh, I have such a headache, I just can't stand it. No.
Now, Mitchell, of course, doesn't see it that way, even if it irks some other fans, or heck, even the players. To him, this is just an expression of the talent he says God gave him, whistling louder than anyone else. And you know, to his credit, he does have roots in the city back in his story too, recounting that back when the Saints were in rough shape in the 90s, he would roam through empty sections of the dome, blowing his whistle and rallying what fans remained. And now, that has become his mission, to be the spirit of those 68,000 fans every single week, even when it draws the ire of other fans. Chief Z Tomahawk hostage situation. Believe it or not, Chief Z has actually been the subject of multiple controversies. In 2008, during a preseason game, someone stole his iconic rubber Tomahawk. Z had been signing autographs when a fan nabbed it. This was a symbol of his fandom for nearly 25 years, and losing it really hit him hard. I mean, the man was devastated. Fortunately, he had a good Samaritan waiting in the wings. Enter former Washington tight end Chris Cooley, who made a public plea on his blog, offering an autographed jersey in exchange for the return of Z's prized possession. And believe it or not, it actually worked. The Tomahawk was returned, proving that even in the NFL, there is still room for redemption. But what other stories or controversies surrounding NFL superfans should we have included on our list? Was there any notable incidents that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.